Hello, my name is Corie Steinbrink, and I create a tiny world called Sugarbird Hollow. Today is January 21st, 2025. I was born in the greater Los Angeles area of California in a suburb right outside. I was raised by my parents, and they're both very creative people. My mother is a visual artist, and my father is a writer. So they always encouraged and supported my creative endeavors. I always had my nose in a book as a child. I was always absorbing stories. I especially liked strange occurrences, paranormal stories, all kinds of books, though, all kinds. Growing up outside Los Angeles, that is like the land of make-believe and storytelling, and I definitely think that had an influence on me. When I got older, I attended FIDM, which is the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising. I studied visual communications and fashion design. Although I wasn't there for very long, I certainly learned a lot. I would say that a lot of my upbringing influenced the art that I do now. I love listening to histories and stories, and I love to tell histories and stories within my work. So pretty much everything growing up, all the people that surrounded me, and even FIDM, for the short time I was there, I learned a lot of techniques and theories that indirectly come into play in my work. My biggest influences are probably the people around me, my family, my friends, my husband, even strangers. I am very, very interested in the human condition and human experience, and I like to tell those kind of stories. Visually, I would say that my influences are Edward Hopper and his very lonely aesthetic, and Edward Gorey with his sort of strange, darkly whimsical aesthetic. I am also greatly influenced by places, especially human places. I like to imagine the story. I like to hear the stories and the histories, especially abandoned places, why they were left behind, what they meant to someone at some point. It's always very fascinating to me and greatly influences the work that I create. Currently, I am focusing on telling those stories. I have a series of small houses going at the moment, each one telling a different human experience. I'm also exploring some new materials to work into my projects, such as fabric and embroidery, to add to another texture and dimension to the pieces I create. As far as my biggest challenges that I find of being an artist, for me personally, I think it would be that I tend to, get disappointed when the piece I'm creating doesn't look exactly like what I envisioned. And it's something I'm working on, trying to deal with, but what I mean by that is sometimes you envision a certain piece to look a certain way, and then what your hands and the materials create is something different, a little different. And I had to train myself, or I'm still training myself, to not worry so much about that it's not perfect to what I thought it would be, but to accept that it is just another version of my vision. And, it's an ongoing process, but I am working on it. And another challenge I think that one might face as an artist is you hear no a fair amount or criticism. And, that's okay. And it's also okay to be a little saddened by it. But I would tell my younger self that don't worry about people's reactions. Just create what you want to create. And there will be people out there somewhere, someplace that will connect with your work and will love your work and appreciate it, and it'll make them feel something. And ultimately, that's what I aim to do. So, my methods and mediums are pretty unconventional on the whole. I use a lot of materials that people would consider trash. Cardboard, cereal boxes, egg cartons, plastic pieces, wood scraps, even dryer sheets. So I like to create my pieces from scratch, and I always see purpose in other people's trash, which may or may not be a blessing. My method of using those materials is somewhat unconventional as well. I definitely consider myself a mixed media artist. I use all those pieces all the time together. Something like I would build the house out of cardboard, use plastic for the windows, wood scraps for a floor, dryer lint for a cobweb, things like that. I really like to be innovative and try new techniques with new materials. And when I work, I generally listen to podcasts. I really love listening to true stories or experiences. Like I said before, I tend to search out stories or podcasts that go with the theme of the piece that I'm working on. And I'm really attracted to just stories of a historical nature. Also, stories with a little strangeness to them. I definitely work a little strange whimsy into my work, into my pieces, and I like to listen to stories that inspire that. The best reactions to my work are probably people that have kind words and connect with it. My ultimate goal is to connect to people and to make them feel something. And it's really a joy when you get feedback and people are really understanding and feeling what I'm portraying. It also amazes me every time I sell a piece. It feels just astounding. It's a great compliment and a privilege when people want to collect your art and display it. And that's the ultimate goal, right? To connect. That is what I want people to take away from when they look at my work, is I want them to feel something. And, it's different for everybody. Art is so individual. But I want them to be able to connect it to their own life, whether it's a previous experience or how they're feeling in the moment. Whatever that may be. I'm not trying to tell anybody what they should feel. Whatever level they connect on really, really is the ultimate goal. My social handle is at Instagram at Sugarbird Hollow, one word. And thank you so much and have a wonderful day.